Okay, so today we're going to be learning how to solve triangles, and that would be with law of sine and law of cosine. Law of sine is basically sine A over A equals sine B over B. So, I'll teach you when to use law of sine and when to use law of cosine, but this is law of cosine right here. You could just focus on this one because they're basically all the same. It's just that the variables are switched, and it just helps you identify the angles and sides of the triangle easier. But you could honestly just stick to one. So I'll teach you. So we're gonna start off with this triangle. We're gonna find angle A and angle B. And how we're gonna do that is we're gonna take a look at what triangle we have. So we're given two sides and one angle, and we're going to see what type of triangle this is. You're given a side angle triangle. And when you're given a side angle triangle, you're gonna have to use the law of sine, which is sine A over A equals sine B over B. So I'm going to not overcomplicate it, but I'm going to solve the whole triangle for you. So then in case you have a problem like this, you'll be prepared, hopefully. Okay, let's get into it. So what you're going to do first, what is important to know is that the angles corresponding sides is across from them. So what I mean by that is let's take angle C for example. This is angle C's angle. The corresponding side would be across. So this would be angle C's corresponding side. So we can label that as C equals, in this case, 9 because that was given. And angle B, corresponding side, would be here. So that would be 5. And angle A, its corresponding side is down here. So this would be A, side A. Now, just because the law of sine says sine A over A, that does not mean that you have to use angle A with its corresponding side. That doesn't mean that. You just basically use what you can, what you're given. So what you should do is you should always fill out sine A over A because you're given at least an angle and a side in this situation. So we're gonna be using angle C with its 55 degrees and its corresponding side. Oh my god, that was a horrible arrow. Its corresponding side, which is 9. So let's plug that into our equation. So that would be sine 55 over 9 equals. And we're going to figure out what we're going to plug in for the next variables in the formula. So what you should do is you should probably solve, and not probably, like definitely solve for angle B because you're given its corresponding side. You can't solve for angle A because you don't know its angle and you also don't know its side. So we're going to solve for B. So we're going to plug that in. So that would be sine B over 5. And now in order to do that, we're going to cross multiply. So we're going to multiply 5 by sine 55, and we're going to multiply 9 by sine b. So you're going to get 5 sine 55 equals 9 sine b. And now you're going to want to isolate sine b, so you're going to divide both sides by 9. So sine b equals 5 sine 55 over 9. You could plug that into the calculator. And I got 0.455. You should always round to 3 decimal places unless told otherwise. Well, whatever. Unless told otherwise, you should round to 3 decimal places. So that's sine b. That's not an angle. That's sine. So to find an angle, you're going to want to get rid of the sine. And to do that, you basically multiply both sides by inverse of sine, which is just that. So angle B equals the sine inverse of 0.455. So angle B is 27.07 degrees. And I don't know if your teacher has taught you this, but when you have an side-side angle triangle, there's a possibility that there is either 0, 1, or 2 triangles. And how you're going to find that is you're going to see if your angles add up to 180 or more than 180. If your angles add up to more than 180, then that means you don't have a triangle. So how are we going to do that? So this is angle B, and that means there's 2 different angles, I believe, that you could find. It's called, ouch. It's basically when angle B flips itself. But like to describe it, just like all you need to know is that if the sum of angle A and B is over 180, then there's no triangle. But if it's less than 180, then that means it can create 2 triangles. So let's do that. Another way to know is if your sine, like if this number was greater than 1, then you have no triangle. But yeah, since you know angle B, you can find its other angles. We're going to label this angle B1. And to find its other angle, you just do 180 minus 27.070, which is 152.93 degrees. So that would be your 2 angles. So that means angle B2 is 152.93. So how would you know if there's 1 or 2 triangles? You're going to add the given angle. In this case, it would be 55. So we're going to take both angles and we're going to add 55 to it. So angle B is 27.070 plus 55. That gives us 82.9 82.07 degrees. Now we're going to take, and that's possible because it's less than 180. That means we could find the other angle by subtracting 82.07 from 180 to find our third angle, because the total angle in a triangle is 180. So now we're going to do the same thing to angle B2, which is 152.93 plus 55, and that's 207.93 degrees. And that doesn't work because it exceeds 180. So that means there's only one triangle. So we're only going to be using this angle right there. So that's just a more complicated step. I don't know if you're being tested on that. If you are, I'm sorry. It's a lot of work, I know, but it's okay. So now we know our angle B. So angle B, I'm gonna erase this. Oh, no, not that. Not that either. Anyways, whatever. Who gives a... You know angle B, which is 27.07 degrees. And now we can find angle A, which is just 180 minus 55 and minus 27.070. So that is 97.93, and that's your angle A. And how would you, and if you were to ask to find its corresponding side, that's easy too, because you know everything basically, and you're only missing one piece. So we're gonna plug it back into sine A over A equals sine B over B. You should always use what you're given to find another length or angle, because then like rounding isn't a problem, because if you round differently, then it could change your answer. So our sine A over A will still be sine 55 over 9. Let me choose a different color. It's too many green. So now we're gonna find side A. Our sine B will be the angle that we just found, because we have no choice but to use that. That is okay, because we're trying to find its corresponding side. So that would be sine 97.93 over A. Now we're going to cross multiply, and you get A sine 55 equals 9 sine 97.93, and you want to isolate A, so that's sine 55 divided by sine 55 on both sides. A equals 9 sine 97.93 over sine 55, which equals you're going to plug it into your calculator. 10.882. And then when they don't give you units, just use U. So that's your your corresponding side. So now you know all three angles. Here, I'll write in this angle for a 97.93. So So now you know all the sides and all the angles, and that's only for one triangle. We still have more.